So hi everyone. I thought I should just share some information about job hunting. I'm actually currently looking for a job. I have a contract which is running out at the end of the year, and job application for me at the moment is not as intimidating as it was for 5 years ago or 10 years ago when I started out working here in Germany. So I thought to myself, you know what? It would be nice to share some useful tips or things that I've found to be useful while I'm applying for a job that have helped me land really good jobs. So I've had so far really two good jobs. And I don't think I would have landed those jobs if I didn't have the tips that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to share 4 tips that I've found to be really helpful, and a 5th one just for people who that I haven't actually been able to access myself, but is nonetheless a useful tip. So tip number 1 is get locals, so native speakers, to go through your application. They quickly and easily are able to pick up on the wrong format. If you've done the application in the wrong format, there is a format that is acceptable socially when you're doing an application for a job, and you need to get that right, and they will pick up on that. They will pick up on the wrong wording. If you've worded something in a way that makes it not understandable, they will pick up on that and will help you correct that. And other things, that sometimes when you're not a native, you just don't have a feel for, but they quickly and immediately pick up on those things. So get local people to go through your application and to correct it. Just be humble, accept that that you need that kind of help, because those petty things, it's actually petty things, but those petty things can actually disqualify you from the race. Because as you can imagine, they're getting the HR gets all these applications, there's all these candidates, and in the first round, they actually just scan through them. They don't read in the depth, and that can be a thing that just makes you be put on not getting invited list. So a petty thing like the format. Maybe you're really qualified for the position, but your formatting was wrong, so you get put on the pile of not getting invited, and that would be a shame. So get locals to go through your application for you. The second thing is get your qualifications accredited. If you've studied abroad or back in your home country or wherever, somewhere else apart from the country that you're in, get your certificates accredited. So you get your bachelor's degree accredited, your master's degree accredited. So that was actually my situation. I studied in the UK. I did my bachelor's and my master's degree in the UK. So that means my qualifications here in Germany are foreign. And usually when something is foreign, it arouses suspicion. And so they'll be like, is this even equivalent to a German certificate, bachelor's degree? Is it, there's all these questions that are going in the back of their heads. So you really don't want yourself getting disqualified because of that. That would be a shame. So the best thing to do is to actually get them accredited and send the proof of accreditation with your application. So that's part of the forms that you're sending for the job. So that's what I do. I always attach the proof of accreditation with my master's degree and with my bachelor's degree, so that when they're going through my stuff, they'll be like, oh, okay, this is a foreign degree. And then they check on the next page, it's accredited. This is a governing body here has accredited this certificate, so that's fine. So here in NRW, so in the province that I live in North Rhine-Westphalia, the Kultusministerium does that. So you find out who does that in the country you live in or in the province that you're in. So number 3 is check out for short contracts, especially if you're starting out or you're changing jobs or you're going into a field that is not what you've been doing at the moment or something slightly different. Check out for short contracts. That is actually a tip a friend of mine gave me a few years ago, because she told me, such jobs are not attractive for German people. So German people tend to, for example, or the locals will want a permanent contract or a 3-year or 5-year contract. They are less likely to apply for a 1-year contract. So if you see that kind of a job, apply for it, because chances are the competition will not be so high and it is a foot inside the door. If you get it, it forms the foundation that you need for you to be able to apply for a permanent job, for example, in the future. So always look out for such jobs and apply them if you see them. Number 3 is, don't just apply for a job. And this is a major one. This is like the biggest tip that I want to pass on today. Don't just apply for a job because you have all the requirements. Like if there's like 7 requirements and you find you only have 2 or 3, and then the other 4 you don't have, that should not deter you from applying for the job. And this is something that I've come to learn, and I've actually done, and it has helped me land 2 really good jobs in the past. So one job, they were looking for someone who's an Islam expert, someone who could speak Arabic or Turkish, and generally came from that background. And I thought to myself, I really like this job. I want this job, but I sort of don't have those 2 things. They needed other things as well, but these 2 major things I didn't have. And then I thought to myself, okay, but how can I still be suitable for that job? So my application showed how I'm still suitable for that job despite not having those 2 major requirements. So I wrote, for example, I've worked with Muslim people, and that's true. I worked with refugees for many years, and most of them had a Muslim background. So I said, I've had contact with Muslims. I have an idea of the Muslim faith, and I have a big interest in that area. So that was the first thing. So that covered a bit the Islam expert, or the thing that I've been working with other cultures. And then I talked about the way, because the job was about extremism, so that's why someone had to be an Islam expert. I talked about the way I've done the topic of fundamentalism in my studies, which qualifies me to understand how extremism might occur in Islam, within the constraints of Islam, or within that context. And by the way, I got that job. I found out later that there was 22 applicants, and some of them were even doctors of Islam, but I got the job. So there was 3 of us who got that job. There was an Arabic guy, and there was a Turkish guy, a guy with a Turkish background, and me. And I didn't have any of those things, but I got the job, because the thing is, you want to get yourself invited for the interview, and then show them, yes, I am qualified. But then I had to write my application in a way that allows me to get invited for the interview. In my current job, it's actually the same. The reason why I took a 1-year contract is because it's like a next level kind of job. It's in leadership. It's they were looking for someone who's it's in leadership, and the working conditions are much, much better. And they were actually looking for a theologian and someone who's done pastoral care. So quite a few things that I didn't have. Who's a Catholic? I'm not even a Catholic, but I got the job. So you can imagine, I just wrote, I've worked with Catholic institutions. So I mentioned that I've worked with them. So which shows that I have an openness towards Catholicism. I talked about the way I've done lots of training with groups. I've done volunteer work where I did pastoral care and so many things that made me look like I am qualified for that job, which I am, but I don't necessarily fulfill the requirements which are written for the job application. But there are things that I've done in the past that qualify me to be able to do the job properly. So that's another tip. Don't get deterred because you don't have all the requirements. Think about how the things you've done in the past might still qualify you to be able to do that job, especially when it comes to the main points of what they're looking for. And then point number 5, and this is the last one, look for English speaking jobs. I didn't even know that that's a possibility here in Germany. I only found out like 2-3 years ago, because I've been meeting Kenyan people, African people who are working here in Germany in English speaking jobs. I didn't even know that that's a possibility. The thing is though, such kind of jobs are usually in big cities like Frankfurt, Bonn, Berlin, and so on and so forth. But still, if you're flexible and you can move, look out for such jobs, because they're there. There are many English speaking jobs. Like, they're looking for people who are native English speakers, be it in marketing, in banking, and so on and so forth. Look out for such jobs, because they obviously open a whole sort of opportunities for you that German speaking jobs might not. Yeah. So those are the 5 tips that I would like to share, things that I've really found to be helpful in the past in landing really good jobs here in Germany. I hope you find them helpful. Make sure you add on to other things that you found helpful down in the comment section down below in the comment section for other people to read that. What have you found helpful? And obviously give this video a thumbs up and like my channel if you found the information helpful. Have a good one and all the best in your job application.